What's going on, everybody? It is your host, Dr. Splash, and today we are doing a versus battle gauntlet. We've done a few before. I'm going to make a playlist for you by the time you watch this video. This includes, Dr. Doom's Gauntlet, Blade's Gauntlet, all that. This is another gauntlet sponsored by the homie. Probably saying shout out to you. You are in my server as well, always supporting the channel. Sailor Moon versus different females throughout fiction. If you want to see an in-depth on how strong Sailor Moon is, I recently dropped a video with a definitive scaling, so go check that out if you want to watch that before you continue. But I'm going to briefly discuss what she's capable of, and then we're going to do 10 rounds against different female characters throughout fiction. Today, the girls are fighting on my channel. All right, let's get into it. So, who is Sailor Moon? Sailor Moon comes from an insanely popular anime. It's actually not that particularly long, so if you're interested after, you can always hit up my server and I'll link you a link to read it. Now, Sailor Moon essentially is the chosen one to protect this universe and even the multiverse itself using power hosted from the crystals that essentially is the power of creation itself. Now, as the Sailor Moon, she has several forms, with even her weakest forms being significantly above black holes, able to bust dimensions, has hacks on the astral plane as well. And then you get thousands of times stronger on top of that, and then you have forms that transcend that entirely, including Eternal Sailor Moon, who can take on dark multiversal rulers, beings that are primordial chaos itself, beyond fate. Essentially, the different hacks and different keywords you want when it comes to determining something as either higher dimensional or outright reversal. At her highest ends with her strongest forms, this is what Sailor Moon is capable of. She's not exactly the most bloodthirsty character you will ever see. However, she's insanely capable, and in this gauntlet, we're going to see if she is capable of taking down other popular female characters throughout fiction. Let's get started. Now, round one, we have Wonder Woman. DC's Wonder Woman is one of the most formidable female characters throughout all of fiction. Well known for being a part of DC's Trinity, Wonder Woman historically has been able to keep up with Superman tiers, even taking on Dark Supergirl. Supergirl in this run was able to threaten the Monitor, who's beyond time, space, dimensions, and even layers above that. I'm gonna be straight up with you. Due to her inherent magic abilities, in terms of like her weapons are magic, her gauntlet should be able to deflect anything Sailor Moon's throwing her way. She's better competitively than Sailor Moon in terms of technical skill, and I think her scaling is superior. In this first round, I have peak Wonder Woman. That's not even mentioning, if we're doing Eternal Sailor Moon versus Golden Wonder Woman. I got Wonder Woman taking it, but if you guys want to see that in depth, because now that I think about it, Eternal Sailor Moon versus Golden Wonder Woman kinda is fire. But yeah, I have Wonder Woman right now taking this one. Next, we have Captain Marvel. This is essentially a Wonder Woman wannabe without the sauce. Now, Captain Marvel, jokes aside, is a character that inherited powers from Captain Marvel, one of the premier defenders of the universe. Before he tragically passed, Captain Marvel taps into deep cosmic energy that allows her to at some point keep up with even Thor tiers. She's taken on Iron Man. She got pissed off when battling with War Machine. Those dumbasses went to arrest Thanos, and she was able to battle Thanos. On top of this, she can achieve stronger forms, such as Binary, that allows her to get incredibly stronger for a short amount of time. Now, who would win between Sailor Moon and Captain Marvel? This is interesting. I do think I and Captain Marvel definitely can keep up, but I probably favor the strongest form of Sailor Moon. I'm actually leaning through hacks and perhaps better consistent scaling at her higher end, probably favoring Sailor in this matchup, but let me know in the comments what you think. Next, we have Super Lois. Now, this is the Lois Lane who recently, like in All in DC, essentially got the powers of a Kryptonian, of a Superman, or someone of that lineage. This allowed her to help combat the likes of King of Hell Doomsday, who, let me remind you, was ragdolling Martian Manhunter and a Supergirl that was in a suit designed to eventually fight the Presence, right? Ragdolled them and got stronger after this. Supergirl was able to help fend off, or Superwoman rather, which is Super Lois, was able to help fend off this version of Doomsday and survive to tell the tale. Okay, that's incredible. Because of that, I favor the scaling of Super Lois. I think she actually takes down Sailor Moon in this encounter. Next, we have Hermione. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the scariest matchup for Sailor Moon due to Hermione's genius intellect and her versatile match. Okay, obviously, I was having a hard time making that joke. Hermione gets fucking washed. She's from the Harry Potter universe. Best scaling you can give her is maybe relative to light speed. If you want to take literal, lightning spells and higher tiers are above them, and light spells her at best. If we take Hogwarts Legacy, which stated that some professors could like move stars in alternate dimensions, star level is the best we can get for higher tiers in Harry Potter, which honestly, she's not even that. We give her all her best shit. Hermione's not even capable of death spell. She gets cooked. All right. Nothing she can do here. I threw her in because she's popular. It's a funny dub. Next, we have Abeloth. Abeloth, this is a lot more serious, is from Star Wars Legends. This is a being who is brought in to be a mother-like figure to son and daughter, the representatives of the different sides of the cosmic force, and the force in general. Now, when this happened, she drank from the font of power, gained knowledge and the power of gods, basically. Took down son and daughter and had to be stopped and buried by the likes of father. The trio would bury her, but she eventually would escape her cosmic prison every now and then, altering the universe and being a bitch when she's out. Grandmaster Luke needed help to take her on. She's someone that can easily take on universal threats. She can fight across dimensions. She can fight you across several planes of existence. She scales above Grandmaster Luke and Darth Great. He had to use oneness to even escape her at one point. Who do I think wins if Abeloth and Sailor Moon clash? This is an absolutely fire matchup, but I actually favor the likes of Sailor Moon. I think in her stronger forms, she has enough scaling to take on the likes of Abeloth, but I do admit this would be a pretty dope battle. Next, we have Starfire. Starfire is a member of the likes of the Teen Titans, and she is of royal descent from an alien empire, manipulate energy and blast it, as well as fly, is super capable as a warrior, has fought for years, and even has been a consultant and mentor for the likes of Blue Beetle. Now, Starfire is wildly capable. Her combative ability is probably a little better than Sailor Moon. I actually don't sleep on Starfire when it comes to her combative nature. However, I do think Starfire would go down in this encounter. I don't think she consistently scales high enough to take down the likes of peak Sailor Moon. Next, we have Storm. Storm is a character who, I'm not going to lie to you, has been getting Hall of Fame levels of push in Marvel Comics recently. It was revealed her bloodline is one of the strongest magic-using bloodlines in Marvel Comics ever. She's a descendant of literal Sorcerer Supremes. She's the Herald to Eternity, a being who was trusting Storm to run down on of Oblivion's champion himself and to eventually beat Oblivion. He can scale to current immortal Thor, being able to help him fight elder gods, as well as being unafraid to take on Hadad by herself, Hadad having just recently killed Oblivion. Storm's recent scaling and the recent push she's been getting is absurd. I actually have Storm beating Sailor Moon at this current point in time. Next, we have Gamora. Gamora is Thanos' daughter, and is way more, I'm just going to be straight up with you, a lot of people have an interpretation of her from the MCU. She's a lot stronger than the MCU version, one of the most deadly warriors throughout the universe, and someone who legitimately could be a problem for Thanos if given the opportunity and weaponry. Who do I think wins if Gamora clashes with Sailor Moon? Obviously, I think Gamora is much more skilled and probably in battle IQ superior. However, through hacks and scaling, that doesn't really matter. Gamora is going to get washed here. Sailor Moon has too much AP, too much higher scaling for Gamora. Next, we have Altair from Recreators. Now, Altair is a character who essentially could transcend her universe, then the multiverse, then the story itself, and even the real world where the author was writing the stories, controlling the narratives, the characters, and even how the show progresses, how the anime, all that works, how basically the fundamentals of not just the structure of the cosmology, but even outside of it. Altair is one of the most broken characters in fiction from recreators, in my opinion, and I think she would actually wash the likes of Sailor Moon. Final of the gauntlet, and smash the like button if you've been having fun watching this video, and if you love these battle gauntlets, let me know which one we should do next. We have Sonic dropping soon. I might drop it today, actually. But Kaguya from Naruto. Now, Kaguya is a being who essentially is one of the gods or godlike characters in the Naruto verse. She's able to use chakra to create dimensions. She has plenty of hacks, including mind hacks, soul hacks, straight up summoning jutsus, able to summon creatures, draining powers, attacking your soul, all of these different things. I do think Kaguya has a dope bag of tricks, probably even more versatile than Sailor Moon and more skilled as a fighter. However, the scaling is completely lopsided. She would get blitzed, she would get dominated in AP. I think Sailor Moon has no problem with Kaguya. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think of this gauntlet in the comment section down below. Who do you think she beats from this list? Who do you think she loses to? And if you could do your own gauntlet or suggest characters for it, let me know who you would have added to this gauntlet. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Shout out to Sane for sponsoring this video. And remember, it's Yancey Street, bitches.